This is the new Citroen C3 and it's quite an unusual car. So I'm going to start this video in an unusual way. So I'm not going to talk to you using this camera. I'm going to instead use this camera over here. You see the car is available with an inbuilt dash cam and that can record an event. Say if you have an accident, or you can just record anything you want at the press of a button and then download the video to your mobile phone and share it with your friends. Yes, this is a car for modern living. Speaking of modern living, you know it is. You take your brand new shiny car to the supermarket and you come back to it and you realise there's a big scratch down the side because someone has gone and rammed it with a blooming shopping trolley. Well, with this particular car, you can get these protective strips. They're called air bumps and they come as standard on the top of the range version, or you can get them as an option on the mid-spec car, and you can get them in 2 different colours. You can actually get the roof in 3 different colours and the body in 9 different colours, and that allows you to personalise your car. And on the whole, it's a really quirky looking thing, this Citroen C3, and it's reasonably priced. Now, if you click up there to go to carwow.co.uk, you can actually see the very latest prices for the Citroen C3. You can spec it your ideal car, and dealers will come back to you with the best price they can do on this car, so you can buy at a price you're confident in. Now, on the inside, Citroen has tried to maintain the quirky feel inside of the C3, and they've been pretty successful at that. So the door handles are like luggage straps. That's quite nice. And everywhere you look, there's rectangles. So you've got rectangles there, rectangles there, rectangles there, there. You've got rectangles here, here. I mean, everywhere's rectangles. Even this cubby it's a rectangle. I do like the interior design of this car. It's interesting. And you can get it in 4 different colours, so you can pick and choose, have it a bit brighter than this dark one. And I reckon you should do that because, yeah, there is quite a lot of dark black plastic about the place. And on the whole, the material quality is, well, it's so-so. To be fair though, this is quite a reasonably priced car. In terms of equipment, the C3 is sort of generous. So I've got the spec listing here, and the entry-level touch has stuff like DAB digital radio, you've got Bluetooth connectivity, you've also got cruise control. Look a little closer though and you realise it doesn't have air conditioning. I mean, who wants to buy a car these days without air conditioning? So for that you need to step up to the feel, and then you also get alloy wheels and this 7-inch touchscreen. It's not the most responsive, it's not got the sharpest graphics, it's not the easiest to navigate through. It's just okay. Now if you click up there you can actually see my full in-depth video review of this infotainment system. You also get Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink, so then if you want to, you can connect your mobile phone to the system, use sat-nav off your phone and run it through the car's screen, which is handy because you don't get satellite navigation as standard on any C3. Speaking of options, that dash cam I showed you earlier, on the fill version you have to pay extra for it, though you do get it as standard on the range-topping flare. However, you can't get it at all on the entry-level touch. Now let's move on to practicality. So you've got some storage area here and here. Annoyingly, there's no central armrest though. That's going to be a pain on longer journeys. In terms of door bins, they are really large here in the front. Easy fit a big bottle in them. Let's move on to the back. The door pockets here in the back, they're all right. Look, they will fit the large bottle, but they are quite shallow. Here in the rear of the C3, I've got to show you this straight away. Headroom is not very good, and that's because this particular car has the optional glass sunroof. Without it, the headroom is actually just about okay in this car. The biggest problem in the back is actually knee room. I mean, look at that, it's really quite tight. If you're a tall person with long legs, you're not going to be particularly comfy here in the back of the C3. You need to carry 3. Well, footwells are large and you can slide your feet into the chair in front, so it is doable, but only at a push. Now let's move on to the boot. So the actual capacity is about as big as it gets on this kind of car. It really is a decent size. Look, even with the load cover in place, you can fit a suitcase on its side. There is a bit of a lip though to lift stuff over, which is a bit of a pain. Look, it is quite large, but you know, the actual space itself is nice and square, so it's easy to pack full. What you don't get is many useful features. So yeah, there's a little hook just there, and there's some tethering points here. Underneath here though, well, there's not much. You've just got space for the space saver spare wheel, and that's about it. Now to fold the seats down, just press a button on the top there like that. But you'll see when you do, you don't get a flat floor, and it's made worse by the fact you've got this big ridge there. So if you're to place something heavy into the boot, then try to push it to the front of the car, it's going to be a bit tricky to do, and that's a little bit annoying. Now, if you want more information on this car's practicality, click up there, because then you can see just how much stuff you can cram into the C3's boot, how easy it is to fit a child seat, and just what it's like with 3 people in the back seats.
Right then, it's time to hit the road and see what this car is like to drive.
It's pretty clear that Citroen has set up the C3 to be like a big, comfy sofa to drive. And that's evident with the suspension, so it's all kind of soft and lolloping, and in some ways I quite like it. It's nice and relaxed. Then when you go on the open road, that soft suspension means that this car does roll around quite a bit in the corners, and you can't really throw it about through the bends like you can such as a Ford Fiesta. So the clutch feels all stodgy, like it's got some glue stuck in it. Then the gear shift is long and vague, and it's almost like you're stirring some cake mix. Then there's the brakes, which is the complete opposite. So you just brush the pedal and you're braking really hard, so you end up kind of like jerking your way through town. But like I said, this car's got a certain charm to it. It's a relaxed cruiser, and it's absolutely fine for doing that kind of thing. And I must say that when you're going at speed, it doesn't feel too bad because you don't get too much wind or road noise. In terms of visibility, you do sit quite high in the car for this kind of thing, so the view out front's pretty good. There is a bit of a blind spot here, but it's not too bad because you do have this extra window down here which gives you somewhere to look around to dodge the blind spot. Out the back window, it's an alright size, but there are some thick rear pillars. You can get the Citroen C3 with a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder petrol engine, and it comes in 3 power outputs. Don't get the lowest power version, it just feels deathly slow. The other two are absolutely fine, and they'd be my recommendation if you want this car, unless you're doing mega miles. If you do, you're going to want one of the diesels. They're both 1.6 litre. This is the one with the highest power output. It's got 100 horsepower and it's fairly punchy, though it can feel a little bit noisy when you rev it out. Now, Citroen says that this particular engine in this car should be able to do 76 miles per gallon. The trick computer says I'm doing 59 almost. If you want an automatic, you have to get the petrol anyway, because you can only get it on the highest power version of the petrol engine. So there, be warned.
Now then, it's time for the carwow 5 annoying things about the Citroen C3.
Citroen doesn't bother to move the fuse box across along with the steering wheel for UK cars, and as a result, the glove box is absolutely tiny. In fact, you can't even fit the car's manual in there, look. Wonder why Citroen have fitted this tacky bit of plastic trim to the car? Well, it's to hide the horrendous paint joint if you have a two-tone roof. This little Isofix logo on the front passenger seat makes you think there's some anchor points somewhere, but there's none behind there, nor even under these zips. Just, yeah, I've no idea. If you know where they are, please let me know in the comments box below. If you try to lift up the windscreen wipers to clean your windscreen, then you'll end up chamfering the paint off the bonnet because it protrudes so much. In fact, we've already done that. The cover for the handbrake lever just ends there. It's all a bit cheap.
Thankfully, it's not all bad. Here's the carwow 5 cool things about the Citroen C3.
The doorbell inserts are painted white, so it's easy to see your USB cable. Then what happens if you've got a white USB cable? Oh my God, it's like totally disappeared. The optional Citroen Care has an SOS function which will automatically call the emergency services if you have an accident, or you can contact a customer services representative round the clock if there's a problem with your car. The rear lights have a 3D effect, which looks kind of cool. The seats are designed to be like big, comfy armchairs, and yes, they are like big, comfy armchairs. The 1.2 litre turbo petrol engine you can get with the C3 has won its category 2 years on the trot in the prestigious Engine of the Year awards. They're so prestigious, you've never heard of them, have you? If you click up there, you can go to carwow.co.uk for more information and to compare offers on the new Citroen C3. So then, what's my verdict on this car? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it, or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the new Citroen C3. It's not perfect, but it's cool, it's comfy, and it doesn't cost too much either. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and click up there to subscribe to our channel. Click up there to watch my 360-degree passenger ride video of the C3, down there for my detailed infotainment video, and down there for my detailed practicality video review. Now, did you spot the Easter egg in this particular video? It was the picture of C3PO in the car's spare wheel well.